So this is going to be a wrap up of the debt section. Probably. I don't think there's going to be any more videos on debt because there doesn't need to be. And let me explain why that is. But if you watched the last video, you saw that what happened is that I just decided to put the last, or not the second to last card, right? This card that I was paying off, the Hilton Honor Surpass card, which still had 2 months left to go on it. I decided I'm just going to change that to to pay off the statement balance, and so that one will be done. And then the only card that I have left to do with a balance on it is the Discover IT 5% card. Now, at this point, it doesn't make any sense for me to pay more than like the minimum payment. And I don't mean the minimum payment as in what the credit card calculates, but the minimum payment for me to pay this thing off before the interest rate kicks in. It doesn't make any sense for me to pour additional money into this. And the reason for that is because the interest rate on this card is 0, and if as I continue to carry a balance on this card, I'm not going to be charged any money. So effectively, like let's say I just paid it off today, right? If I had to pay it off today, the amount that I would have to pay off is $97.90 and 75 cents. That's how much I would have to pay off today. If I paid it off over time, the total amount that I'm gonna pay off, well, this one is already done, is still $79.90 and 75 cents. I'm gonna pay the exact same amount of money either way. And actually, because of inflation, and I know, yeah, it's not that much of a time period, but if you have longer debts, the same concept applies here. Because of inflation, the less I pay now, the more money I have in my pocket to grow for time value of money. We haven't even gotten to the investments part of the discussion yet, but one of the things that this is going to enable us to do before I even get out of debt is to start investing and to start putting money to work for me. And I actually didn't realize this before because I had always walked around with this idea in my head that you need to get out of debt before you start investing, and you need to at least get out of the unsecured debt, the debt with very high interest rates above 5 or 6%, before you start investing. And I thought the same with credit cards, right? Like, why would you start investing if you still have credit card debt? Because the APR on the credit card is going to be super high. Well, now I realize that I'm in the situation where I have a 0 interest rate on the credit card. I'm not paying any money to carry this balance. It doesn't make sense for me to put additional money into the card. So I can use the extra cash flow that I'm getting and can start investing. And that's going to work out very nice for the series as well, because we're not going to have to wait a year. We're not going to have to wait a year to go to the next step. We can go to the next step today. We can go and just start doing it. So that's about it. The only thing that I'm going to do here is do a little calculation. I kind of already did it, right? So the amount that I have left to pay on this card is 97. Oops, you can't see. Whoa, what the heck is this? So the amount that I have left to pay on this card is $97.90. Okay, and if we take a calculator, we do $97.90 divided by 12, because 12 months from now, September 2021 is when the APR starts to kick in. So if I pay $816 into this thing, it's going to be done in 1 year. So we can take a nice round number, $816, and add that into the cash flow diagram here. And that can just be the auto payment amount, right? $816 into that. And that's going to get us there. Now, that's it. I mean, I don't really have to do anything else with this. I can go to sleep here, or just like not go to sleep, but just start living my life unconsciously, right? And I cannot touch my finances anymore for a year, and things are going to get a lot better. Things are going to just improve financially, right? That's the benefit of having built a system. You don't have to, once you built the system, you don't have to constantly do stuff and like lift the heavy bucket, right? It's doing all the heavy lifting for us already. So that's all that I'm going to do. And yeah, this is going to be a short video. I don't have anything else to say here really, but the yeah, I'm kind of glad that I looked into the balance transfer, because it kind of opened my eyes to this new reality of like, yeah, you can start investing even if you're still paying off credit card debt or student loan debt. You just have to configure it in a way such that it makes sense to do that. Like, technically, it makes no sense for me to try to pay this card down as quickly as possible. None. There's some emotional benefit, like, and you might want to do it for the emotional benefit that, yeah, you're not going to have to make payments anymore. But at the same time, it's not like, technically it doesn't make you pay less. The faster you pay it off, you're not going to pay less than you will if you were to just pay it off over time. Another idea that I was thinking about in my head was to make the minimum payments on this card, for example, just make $200, make that go down over there. Whoops. Let's see what would happen if I did that. Just for fun, right? Just for fun. If I made 200, then I could take this and balance transfer that over to another credit card. And, I'd pay more of a fee, but then, the balance would go somewhere else. That was the idea I was playing with. And the reason for doing that would be to open up a lot of cash flow, right? Then I could put a lot more money towards other things like investments, for example. But I figured, I don't want to do that. It's kind of a hassle. I'd rather just set this and forget it and not have to worry about doing this whole process again in another month. So that's what I'm going to do. We're just going to set it over to 816. And yeah, that's what it's going to be. So it should be finishing up in August right here. Yep. So that's exactly what we're looking at. It actually pushes the debt-free date back one more month, but that's just fine. That's just fine, because yeah, it doesn't really matter. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go log into my accounts and do that now. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. We're going to start doing the financial foundation. I've just been kind of lazy about it because there's a lot to go over in that module. There's a lot of stuff. And I've been making a checklist off screen. I've been doing a little bit of work on this that I haven't been sort of showing you because it's just been research that I've been doing. So we're gonna have like a checklist to go through, and I'm gonna go through the checklist that I make, and I'll make that checklist available to you too. So that's it. All right, guys. Bye-bye.